Hello everyone, this is Luxury PL38. Today's video I would like to do a comparison and also a review, a first in-depth review of the Speedy 25 from the Game On Collections, because yesterday when I did the unboxing, the first thing that came across my mind is I gotta do this comparison. And also I just want to point out that Louis Vuitton has actually upgraded the Speedy collections, and some of the features of the new Speedy is gonna shock you, and some of the features or extra features in my opinion is actually much more favorable. So this is one of the best things that Louis Vuitton has done for their Speedy collections. I'm not sure if this is only gonna be for the Game On collections or if Louis Vuitton moving forward is gonna apply to all their Speedy bags. But let's get into the huge differences and the new features of the Speedy 25 or even the Speedy 30, which I'm gonna show you later. So in terms of the Speedy wise, I do have owned 3 Speedy 25. These are all Speedy 25. And this is the Speedy 30. And the sizes of the differences you can see from here. And I'm just gonna see if I can just slightly adjust the camera lighting. So when I was holding this bag yesterday, for some reason it does not feel like a Louis Vuitton Speedy bag. That's because I never imagined that Louis Vuitton has actually upgraded the Speedy collections. So let me just quickly briefly explain to you the Speedy Bandouliere, which is the damier, the permanent line collections. It does come with 3 different varieties, the damier, the monogram, or the damier azul. So the one that I have, the damier one, it does have the bandouliere portions of it here. So if you're after something without the bandouliere, which is the one that holds the strap, it is actually going to be cheaper if you just want a hand carry bag without the bandouliere or the strap. It will be a few $100s cheaper, but the bandouliere parts of it simply means that it has the strap and also that portion of it over here that holds the strap. And the strap of the bandouliere actually comes in 3 portions. You actually put them together. There's 2 parts of it that holds, and there is an extension. So what the extension actually means is you can use this as a crossbody bag if you put the extension in the middle. And the extension does not have a hook. It simply has a D-ring, but it does not have a hook. The only hook that has is on the 2 sides of this that you can hook onto the bandouliere portions. So this is the functions of the extensions. However, the new versions of the Speedy 25 from the Game On collections, the strap is only 2. See how there's no extension? So what it means is Louis Vuitton actually take away the extension and simply just make the strap longer. But by doing that, they actually have 7 holes. So if you count the number of holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that makes it so much easier for you to adjust this instead of putting the extension, because it is a little bit of a hassle. If you want this as a crossbody, you need to take out the extension and you actually need to put it right in the middle. So Louis Vuitton has taken away the extension part of it and simply just make the strap longer with more holes, 7 holes, and you can adjust that accordingly if you want a shoulder bag or a crossbody length. So that is one of the most important feature of the new Speedy collections. They simply take away that. Even if you look at the holes for the older style, there are 3 holes on each. So by making 7 holes, it's pretty much basically the same number of holes. And in terms of the Game On collections, there are 2 kinds of Speedy that was released, the Speedy 25 and the Speedy 30. And I'm going to show you even the Speedy 30, which is this one. they're actually using the same. So the strap of the new Speedy 30 for the Game On Collections only has 2. A second feature that I find it very interesting is the eliminations of the side. If you look at the bandouliere portions of the Speedy, and there are 2 straps that actually sticks to the 2 corners of the Speedy, and that is the D-ring to hold the bag itself, and that's where you put the strap, and that's the other side. So this part of it is entirely gone on the new Speedy. Look at it. I can understand why it's gone for this, because of the actual design itself, because of the card here, and the actual design of it. It will look funny if you have a leather strap that goes on both sides. So in order for it to work, what Louis Vuitton has did with the new Speedy 25 is they take away the 2 sides of that. I'm gonna show you. See that? So those 2 bandouliere portions of it are gone. And how are you gonna hook the strap? So what they did is they actually used the same principle as the Alma BB. So this is where you hook your strap on the handle itself. So this is the second features that I find it very interesting, that Louis Vuitton actually took away that portions of it. So the strap no longer holds on the side of the back of the Speedy. It actually holds on top of the handles. I'm not sure if that's gonna be an upgrade, but it definitely feels very, very different moving forward. I'm not sure if this is going to be a permanent change, but the only way for us to know to see the future line of their Speedy collections, the Damier, the classic permanent collections, the Damier monogram and the Damier Azur, if it's going to be changed in the future, if they're going to take those away and simply just put the strap over here. So that was the second feature that I find it very interesting. And if you notice, I'm not sure if you notice it, the zip is actually one of the features that is different as well. It does have that little leather tag that makes it so much easier for you to pull and push the zipper. And what it means is there is only 1 zipper instead of 2 zippers. I guess it makes a lot of sense because you don't actually need 2 zippers. There are 2 zippers here, and it's a little bit cumbersome sometimes when you are trying to pull the hardware being a little bit shorter. So the newer versions of it has a much longer for you to. What it simply means is the lock itself. Remember how with the older style, I'm just gonna see if I can show that to you. That's where you put the lock. There are actually 2 small little holes here that you can put the lock for the Speedy. However, now that there is only 1 zipper puller, there is a hole on the leather portions of it, and there is another hole here. So the lock now actually goes in between those 2. So that is another new features for the Speedy. In terms of the zipper, there's only 1 zipper, but that particular 1 zipper actually has a leather tag that you can use, and it is so much more easier for you to zip and unzip with a hole here that you can put the actual lock itself. And just for someone that's wondering, the made in is actually on the outer portions of this, and this particular Speedy is made in Italy. So one final features I want to showcase for the new Speedy is the interior, and I personally feel that this is the best upgrade for the new Speedy, because the interior itself is in the microfiber lining. It feels like a suede kind of feeling, and it is definitely an upgrade, because for someone that actually purchased the seasonal Speedy such as the Crafty or even the Pastel collections, it feels pretty much the same as the permanent collections of the Speedy Bandouliere. So it pretty much is exactly the same other than the patterns itself, and it does not justify the price tag, the different price tag, because it is actually different by about 900, close to 1,000 Canadian dollars, and they're pretty much the same other than the fact that this is in the seasonal colors, but all the features are pretty much the same, but they usually have a tag for that on the front, whereas the traditional permanent line does not have a tag that comes out like a luggage tag. So that is probably just one of the two things that is different. Other than that, everything else feels the same. The material itself, especially the interior pocket and the fabric interior, it feels kind of cheaper. I don't know, for some reason it just feels like a very cheap materials, and that was actually being carried to all the seasonal Speedy, and which is the one that you're paying close to $1,000 more, but the material, it still feels like a cheaper versions of it. So it feels exactly the same. However, the new Speedy does not have a pocket that you can pull out. So the pocket is actually stick to the back of the Speedy itself. You can't pull it out, and it is deeper. It's no longer one tiny little pocket that you can't use for many things. However, the new versions, it is actually deeper. It goes all the way down to the bottom of the Speedy, so it is a much more functional pocket that you can actually use, and it's actually stick to the Speedy itself, so you can't pull it out. And let me just show you the materials, interior lining. It is the microfiber, which is exactly the same as the Alma. For someone that has an Alma BB or even the Alma bags, you notice that the interior, it feels very luxurious. It has that microfiber lining, and it just makes the bag a little bit more structured and thicker, which is exactly what I felt when I was holding the Speedy 25 yesterday. It feels thicker. If you touch the coated canvas, it just feels a little bit thicker and more structured and more durable. It does not feel flimsy like the permanent bag from the permanent collections. This one feels very flimsy, whereas the new Speedy, it feels a little bit more structured and a little bit more durable and thicker because of that microfiber interior lining. So I felt that that is one of the best new features of the Speedy, the new Speedy. And speaking of which, it justified the price difference, because these Crafty collections and the Game On collections, they're actually priced the same, which is 2,830 Canadian dollars. However, the quality of these two are pretty much the same as far as I'm concerned, whereas the quality of this is so much more that it justifies the price that I actually pay for it. So that is a huge difference between that cheaper permanent collections and the seasonal line, which is actually cost nearly 1,000 Canadian dollars more. And hopefully this explains to you the differences. Also, as a side note, there are no luggage tag on these Game On collections. As compared to the Crafty, it does have the luggage tag, and the Pastel collection has that luggage tag, but the Game On collection does not come with any luggage tag at all, which I find it actually complement it because of the monogram itself. You don't need a luggage tag to be dangling out. So for someone that is interested in the new Speedy 30 from the Game On collections, the new features are actually implemented on that as well, and I'm going to show you. So the strap, there's only two. you don't need, there is no extension. That is the new features. And also if you look at the side of that, there are no more leather strap that actually goes all the way down on the two sides. Instead of that, you do have the tag, the leather tag sticking out like that, and that's on the other side as well, and that's where you put in the lock. And that is the new zipper puller, and also that is where the new strap goes, which is the same as the armor, which is on the handle itself. And finally, I just want to show you as well, the interior of that is also in the microfiber lining, as you can see. However, the only difference is that the back pocket, you can still take it out. So that is the only difference between the size 25 and the size 30. The back pocket, this is actually stick to the side of the Speedy, whereas the Speedy 30 for the Game On Collections, it seems that the back pocket, you can still take it out. So that is the only difference between those two. But moving forward, I'm not sure whether these new features for the Speedy is only going to be applicable for the seasonal Speedy bags, or if Louis Vuitton is actually going to change all the new features and transfer it to the permanent collections. Only time will tell. But if you do have any comments, let me know. Please do so in the sections below. And once again, thank you so much for watching.